Jared Goff is 15. Okay. 14 is Trey Hendrickson.
Just got paid.
Just
won a 1-year deal.
Just got he has there's the $31 million he's going to make this year. It's not an extension, but you phrased it perfectly. He's getting paid. It's like Alex Anzalone.
Yeah.
Okay. Except the $31 million is a hell of a lot more than Alex Anzalone's getting. It's a bump on what he should have been getting based on his statistics.
And both of them, it's the same exact thing. You know what this is? Hey, we appreciate the work you've done. You won't be here next year.
Bingo.
You won't be here next
100%.
year. Yeah.
So I think you were the first person to tell me this, and I think you said it 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. I expect the Lions to take a linebacker next year. And I'm like, what are you thinking about taking a linebacker already for? And you said, because that exact example. All right?
Yeah.
So they're going to have to do that. And it's another reason why I think Jack Campbell is so very important too.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the guy. I think he's a really good player. I think he's going to have a big year. I think Terrion Arnold's going to have a big year, all those things. Anyway, so Trey Hendrickson's 14. I've always liked him. I think he's a hell of a player. And I think he's might even be rated a little bit lower than he should be. Penei Sewell's 13. And I think that is awesome. Look at the tweet, if we can, from Woodward Sports earlier. Yeah, 13th best player in the NFL. This is by players, I would remind people. This is not the media. This is players breaking down various other players. That is mad respect, as you know. Did they have this while you were playing, asking your opinion of other players and where you would rank them? Or how does that? How did they go about that? Do you know?
First of all, I'm offended that you think I'm that old.
Well, you're only 42.
I'm offended that you think I played in the 60s.
I just don't want to.
I was out there with Paul Hornick, running around Notre Dame and the Green Bay Packers. No.
Didn't you catch passes from Bart Starr?
And here you go. Yes, they had this. And it still was new at the time, to your point. But they did have this, and it is tremendous respect. They give you the list. They give you the sheet, the name of the players. You do it on the day where no one wants to do it. But they find the day during, I think it's mini camp or whenever it is, and you fill out the list and you fill yours out and they do the average and do the tallies. But it is a tremendous sign of respect because guys aren't out there just lobbying for their homeboys. Guys aren't in there just because we're in the same locker, because we're friends, because we're boys. I'm going to go ahead and put you on this list. I'm going to put on this list who I think belongs on this list, and I'm going to put them where I believe they belong. And I think Penei Sewell belongs at 13. I think they realize that from the time he entered the league, he was a problem. They put him at a position that wasn't even his, fell in love with the position, and you know the game. Everyone knows the game where the league was put on notice. There's a man in this NFL that just retired a couple years ago that everyone was scared of. His name was Aaron Donald. 58 was not. And I think from that moment on, it allowed people to watch him more, pay attention to Penei more, and you see him, and you see the way he mauls people, destroys people. But also, when he speaks every once in a while, he's saying things to let you know he's trying to work on his game. Like last year, what did he say going into the season? He said, man, I want to be more of a leader. I want to take on some of that leadership role. This is who I want to be ahead of the 2024 season. So Penei is a dog, and the league realizes that, and I'm glad the league realizes it. I wish the Cowboys realized that somebody from Penei's class is also a dog.
I want to get to that here in a moment. Let me just give you some eye-popping numbers.
Yeah.
Penei Sewell played 1,144 snaps. 1,144 snaps. He allowed 1 sack.
Wow.
Okay. Now, Lane Johnson, people in Philly would tell you Lane Johnson didn't allow any.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine. It's a great debate. I love that stuff. I love the pride people have for
Who
for
looked
their
at the
players.
film to come up with those numbers? Because I watched a couple of Lane's games last year.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
One of those things where it's like, we're not going to blame that on Lane, but
yeah, exactly. It's like, shouldn't that have been an error?
Keep it real,
but you want to
Frank.
keep you want to keep the no hitter alive. So
get it.
well, we're going to give the guy this, that, and the other thing.
I'm not hating on Lane, though. I'm not hating.
I know you're not.
Yeah.
The other is, according to Pro Football Focus, he allowed pressure on 8% of his pass blocking snaps. That is 16th lowest among right tackles with 200 pass blocking snaps. Okay, he is elite.
Yeah.
Period. You could argue he's the best player this franchise has right now. Aiden Hutchinson's in the discussion. Again, my personal feeling, Brian Branch, a big fan. But they're in that discussion. It's fun to have. One of the things the players talked about with Penei Sewell that made him elite is his athleticism.
Freaky.
And I wanted to know from you, we always look at athletes as fast, strong, all these. His footwork, his hips, and his ability to use at his size, his speed and quickness has got to be something that jumps out to you.
Yeah, this is all respect. This is all respect when I say this, so don't try to cut the clip and make it a certain way and say a certain thing, because it is not that. The Polynesian community is just different.
Yeah.
Like, they are absolutely different. Every Polynesian teammate, whether it's Tongan, whether it's Samoan, that I play with, they are built different. They can do things with their body that they just never get hurt. Like, I saw my guy Ice with the 49ers, as he did the haka before the game started. He would just do things in the game, and you're like, there's no way your ACL isn't blown out. Like, it's no way that you were allowed to do that, and you don't have a concussion, or your neck is still standing on your shoulders, if you will. It's just different, and he falls right in line with that. The things you see him do in terms of his lateral movement, he could play left guard if he wanted to. Remember we talked about the left guard and the movement? He would be a damn good left guard. You talked about this other, he'd be a good tight end. Like,
Dan Campbell said that. He said, I truly believe if I had him at tight end, he would be a Hall of Fame tight end.
And that's what catches these ends off guard, because they're not used to the athleticism. They're not used to a guy that's 6'5", 330 being able to move like that. When they put certain moves on you, they say, I got him with the move, it's over. Damn, how did he get back to me? How did he recover? How is he in the space? How was he able to slide his feet in such a way so he still got a chip and Jared was able to escape? Man, I've had a bunch of teammates. Sione Poole, when I played for the New York Jets, like, just one of those guys, just ridiculous strength. And oh, by the way, he was 340 and he could run 4.8. Like, stuff is legendary.
I remember covering Haloti Ngata when he was here.
What?
And
Oregon, 2003, we were 2-0. Chris Perry's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. This is the best Michigan team that I was on. Like, my junior year was the best team I was on. We're excited. We're going out to play Oregon. Nobody care about Oregon. Nobody care about Kellen Clemens. Nobody cared about the Mike Biotti. Nobody cared about Autzen Stadium in the middle of nowhere in Oregon, and this state that's stuck in the 60s, if you will. When you drive up on campus as a snapshot, we could not move the ball. Chris Perry came into the game as the #1 rusher in the country. He actually was 4th in the Heisman. Let you know how good that year was. -6 yards. Wow. Chris Perry had against that game. You know who was the nose tackle in that game? Yeah, it was none other than Haloti Ngata. Like, he was just different. And Igor Olashansky, a Detroit Lion. But Haloti was different.
Well, and a super nice guy when I covered him. But when I say this, understand, I'm talking about the body, the build. As dense a human being as I've ever seen. Like, you felt like you were going to run into a wall. Vidi Vea's a little like that, right? In Tampa. And another guy, another Samoan. So to your point with that, I do want to get to this, and I think it's great for Sewell.
That's why the WWE uses him so much. They understand the value.
They are related in WWE.
Well, true that, but Austin, but it had to start somewhere with Chief.
No, you still got to make it.
High Chief Maivia. Older Vince saw that athleticism. Back in the 70s, he had never seen anything like Chief Maivia. He was like, oh, yeah, we need you in the WWE and everybody that's a part of your tribe, which Roman Wayans and who's still going. They never saw the athleticism like that.
That's what makes Dan Campbell's comments, just to expand a little bit on what Shep was talking about. Dan Campbell saying that he would be that Penei Sewell will be a Hall of Fame tight end. He says he is a freakish athlete, just nimble, athletic, that he can do it all. Then he names these players. We got Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs. But Penei is very much part of that. He allows us to do so much schematically, man. And it's dope to hear Dan Campbell be able to talk that openly and honestly that elevating of a Penei Sewell, who we already know to be one of the most dominant offensive linemen. But because of the athleticism that you've been able to expound on, Dan Campbell believes that he can be even that much more. It got people thinking maybe trick plays on.
I'll tell you, we don't give linemen enough credit for how athletic they are.
Yeah.
We view the athletes on the football field, and I get it, because we're in awe of your speed and your size.
Right.
We're in awe of running backs' ability to move, and we're in awe of how quickly linebackers and safeties and corners can break on the ball. And yet we seem to forget sometimes. Like Jerry Bull, when he played for the Lions in the 90s, that dude was a lot faster than you thought, man.
Yeah.
Okay? There are guys who play offensive line and defensive line that'll outside of Braylon that'll beat us all in a race.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And won't have, it'll be easy doing it.
Yeah, they might beat me now too.
No.
It's because you never get an opportunity to see an extended play to where they can showcase the athleticism. Very rarely do you get a play like, rest in peace, Larry Allen.
Yeah.
Where you see Larry Allen chase down on the backside and make the tackle before the guy gets into the end zone. Very rarely do you get a chance to see an offensive lineman in that space.
Like Ermanni Dawson back in the day was
Pittsburgh
so
Steelers.
good. Yeah, so good.
Yeah. So you don't get a chance to see that. So you don't think anything else. Oh, he's a big 300-pound guy. Oh, yeah, he just blocks the quarterback. He doesn't move too far.
Yeah.
No. I told you about a different side of the ball, but Sean Rogers.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. That's why when Bobby Ross was here and he was preaching, I got to find somebody who blocks out the sun. They get Aaron Gibson from Wisconsin, who was a mammoth of a human
400.
being. Okay, but he was one of those guys who couldn't run very well, and I think that oftentimes that label sticks with these guys. And I think that's a great point by you, suggesting that we're only watching them for a short period of time. As soon as Jahmyr Gibbs hits the hole, we're watching him take off. We're not watching Sewell pin down and take that D tackle or D end and pancake him because we're watching 26, now 0, go to the house.
Yeah,
and the times they do, you see Penei literally moving grown men up the field.
Oh, yeah. It's
crazy.
It's constant.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's constant with him.
I'm glad you said men because men is the plural form of man. Like, you see Penei Sewell legitimately at least 10 plays a game. Where here's one block on this guy, here's a second block on this guy, here's a third chip on this guy. Yeah. How many? I've seen Penei do at least 10 plays a game where he's getting 3 people and allowing the play to have some depth.
When you can get to that next level, you know, when he takes one guy, moves him out of the way, knows when to disengage, then get to the next guy, locate that guy. Then move him the way he's supposed to. To me, it's one of the more amazing things I think the game of football provides us. We just don't pay attention to it nearly as much. I will say, go ahead.
I was gonna say because it has no fantasy point value. It has no DraftKings value. Excuse me, Caesar's value.
Yeah.
Nothing that he does is gonna affect your bet, or nothing he does is gonna affect. Well, it'll affect it, not directly though. You're not looking at him like, okay, how can Penei help this fantasy football situation?
Only negatively. They can let up sacks and all that stuff. Only negative.
And that's when you pay attention.
Yeah.
So,
damn it, Penei.
Yeah. He's overrated. When we come back, though, I do want to talk about a guy who was big and strong and played interior, but isn't feeling the love from Detroit. We'll get to that when we come back.